you hear all the time about people who do everything right, health-wise. They eat right, they exercise, they do everything right, and unfortunately, sometimes they are stricken with something. And it's a real tragedy and a shame. Whereas in my case, if perchance I get diagnosed with something, it'll be like, oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah, that sounds right. 52 years of treating myself like a garbage can. That was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. What will you miss most, Janeane? Oh, I don't know, making and remaking bracelets because they're not quite right. That's what I do. I just cut them and it's not right. I'm a beadist, and one day I hope, it is an aspiration to own a bead store. And hopefully it'll be called something like Let It Bead. Bead goes on. Any iteration of bead we can put in the common vernacular. But I'm talking about a proper bead store. I'm not talking about like a Hobby Lobby or I'm talking about a proper bead store where you walk in and say, what's that music, Tegan and Sarah? You're goddamn right, it's Tegan and Sarah. Tame Impala, Iron and Wine, Father John Misty. That's what's happening at my bead store. Because as you know, if you go to a proper bead store, it's a utopia of sorts, yes? You get a tray and paper and a golf pencil. You got a tiger by the tail, have at it. Go through the bins, the day is yours. And you are responsible for writing down the amount of bead or what have you, the quantity and the cost. And when you get up to the cashier, thank you again, they don't check, they take you at your word. They accept it, you know, reciprocity, justice. And also, say you hand over a $50 bill. I'm not putting on airs. It happens out of the bank machine sometimes. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not lording this over you. Listen, my parents met in a bowling alley in the Bronx. Bell bottoms on one leg at a time. But sometimes a 50 comes out. Guess what they don't do? Check to see if it's counterfeit. I don't like when people check to see if money's counterfeit. It feels personal, like they're impugning my character. And by the way, even if it is counterfeit, who gives a shit? Keep it moving. Keep it moving, keep it moving. In this economy, keep it moving. Who cares? And it's probably from some Eastern Bloc country. They do very good work, I can assure you of that. They're very good work. And it made it past Interpol, the Attorney General. You're telling me this 17-year-old has the eye. Cursory glance, dim bulb, all right. Out comes the magic marker. But they still treat you with a what are you up to kind of attitude. But not at Let It Bead. Then you get your purchases. There's a wooden table in back. Go ahead, sit down, start making jewelry. Other people are. There's a woman knitting. We don't sell yarn. This is what I'm saying. All are welcome, all are welcome, all are welcome. And people talk, they get into conversations. It's a real detente, if you will. And you know what you'll never hear at that wooden table at Bead the System? You'll never hear, hey, Marco Rubio's making sense. Never. Everybody's on the right side of history. Everybody's on the right side of history. No false equivalencies. Both sides do it in Congress. Both sides do it. Both sides are responsible for gridlock. No, they are not. One side is very much worse, and they're called Republicans. They are. It's just, false equivalence. What's the point? Nobody benefits from a false equivalency, and it's not journalistic objectivity. It's cowardice. It's just you're just a fucking coward. I'm sorry. I just swore. I don't like to do that. I just dropped the F-bomb. I do apologize, but this faux journalistic the alleged objectivity is just cowardice. That's all it is. There is such a thing as truth. There's not more than two sides to every story. Some. You've seen Rashomon. I haven't, but I hear that's got like 7. So I really haven't. I just have heard. I'm not going to pretend I have. I've just heard that used as a metaphor or an analogy.